Hi my friend, Pat Sloan here for my daily video, and we are April 1st. That's April Fool's Day, right? I am not a big April Fool's Day player. Like I don't think up the jokes. I just don't have a brain that does that. Although I do enjoy a really good April Fool's joke. There have been some cute sewing ones over the years that different people have put out. I can't even think of them, but I think one had something to do with a funky sewing machine that one of the manufacturers announced, and that was super cute. But I'm not very good at that part. So lucky you, you don't get any jokes played on you here on the video today. Now, if you did not download your calendar yet for April, link is in the description box below. It is also at my website. I love to make quilts on the calendar page. I forgot to put the charity quilt on the 1st to the 15th for a couple hours the day I put it out. So if you have one that doesn't have it, just write it in, the 1st and the 15th. The first being today. So we have the next segment of the charity quilt along, which is for Make-A-Wish with the Fat Quarter Shop, and Moda Fabrics is also a big sponsor of this one. So here is our row. It's a row by row. So here is the second row, and it is called Happy Charms. The first row was called Lucky Row. I like the names. So I put them all here on this little stringer. Now, they do go this way. So the geese are flying. These are flying geese units. The geese are flying this way, and they sort of go up and down, which is what this spacer is for. Sometimes the spacer's on the top, sometimes it's on the bottom. Here is a picture of the row. I'm using my Morris & Park from Benartex. And so you can see, I'll get you close. There you go. Got all of the greens, the pinks, the reds, and if you want to see here, I've got the Lucky Row from the first row of the quilt, and it's twice a month. So these are a little bit more work in them, but not too bad. So she says. So here is the first row with my Morris & Park, and I am getting them together and building this because towards the end of this I will just have to show you my pictures, because my quilt will go up for a charity to support Make-A-Wish. I've been doing that for about 5 years now with the Fat Quarter Shop. They auction my quilt along with theirs, and sometimes somebody else has something to auction. So I have to send it off to Cindy and Dennis, who will quilt it for the charity, and then we'll get the binding on and then send it to the Fat Quarter Shop. So all that has to happen before the event, actually, the sew along ends. So at some point I'll be showing you just the pictures, but for now I have the real blocks sitting here. So cute. All right, so that is the charity one. Now my March Hope is, as I'm taping this, in my mailbox waiting for the mail person to pick it up. So yes, and it's going to the spa because I decided to send it off to the spa along with the little sew sampler. No, it wasn't sew sampler. Along with the mystery Cupid box quilt. And that one, I'm going to pop 2 pictures up here because some people have written me and said, you've turned the bow the wrong way. Well, the pattern was, I guess, done for a table runner, so it had a bow looking both directions, but I am going to hang it vertical because that's the way I want to use it. It's too wide for my table, so I don't want to use it on my table. So I flipped the bottom bow and all the hearts so that when you look at it, they're all going the same direction. So for those of you who are a bit confused about that, that's why it's done that way. On the back wall, I have the next thing that needs binding. Here is the hanging sleeve, and it's going to get this fabric for the binding. That was one of our sew-alongs 2 years ago, maybe. It's called Main Street, and I did Main Street. I was crazy. I did Main Street in 2 different colors. I did it in this fabric, and I did it in a different fabric. What was I thinking? And so I don't need 2 of them, but I have 2. So this one will finally get some binding. I have it out so I can cut it. It's on the wall staring at me because once I get this cut, then I can take it off the wall and use my wall again. So I'm pretty excited. I'm moving through. I have to make a new list for April and go evaluate. I'll try to bring that tomorrow. Evaluate what I got done for March and make a new list of the things. I did pretty good. Did pretty good for the month. Now the little spring quilt is not Easter yet, but this thing will get done and it will stay up. I will have spring all of April. So my little tulips, a bonus from the home is, for the garden block. I am working on the binding. So I wanted to ask you if you ever do this, because I sat down with this. Here, let me just sit down, because I was like, really? What are you doing? I was sitting down and I flipped it to work on it, and okay, so I had it like I thought I wanted it, and I started stitching, and I'm like, I don't usually stitch binding this direction with it facing me. I usually like to have it in my lap, so I'm going with most of the quilt in my lap and the edge at the top, not with the quilt that way. Does that make sense? They're sort of two different directions. So I had it the wrong direction. Not only that, I had it the wrong direction. The needle was threaded. I did a few stitches, and then I decided, well, I'm just going to suffer through it. I'm going to stitch the whole thread out, going the direction I really don't like to hold it. What's with that? Why didn't I just change, knot it off and flip the darn thing and work on it? Who knows? Some days are like that, right? You just sort of go, I know this is not the way I like to do it. I'm just going to keep going anyways. Then I have one corner, wherever it is, one of these corners where there's a seam. It's this one. This corner, there's a seam that I was hoping. Now, I didn't have much of this fabric. I used all of this green for the binding, and then I had to piece in a little carrot face there because I didn't have enough. And I should have adjusted this, but I just went ahead and put the seam in the edge, which means when I get to that corner, right, you have to fiddle and fuss with it because it's got too much bulk to have the seam in the corner. But such is life. It will get done. It will get done. And I've been using this. This is my little tray. I have one of these little yardstick trays, and I put, there's the green thread and some scissors and all the needles and the needle threader. So I can just pick this up and take it with me. I am liking that a lot. Okay, I had a few people ask me about searching for things that I've talked about on YouTube. Because this is like a variety show, I'm not doing one video where you can see on the title, oh, this is all I'm talking about is binding in this one. I'm talking about binding, I'm talking about, the sew along, I'm talking about all kinds of things. And so you can do a search. YouTube has a search function. I'm going to show you pictures from doing it from the web. And so here is the first one. This is the screenshot from the web. I'm on a desktop, a laptop, or you can be on a tablet. As long as you're going through the web version, it'll probably look like this. There's a magnifying glass. If you are on an app, which means that you're on your phone or the tablet app, look for the magnifying glass. It's there. Don't tell me it's not there, because it is there. Just keep looking. Open the three little dots, expand things out. The apps smush everything up so that you can't find anything. You've got to expand things when you're using your phone or an app on your tablet. So once you find the magnifying glass, just put in the term, like you could put in binding, you could put in free motion quilting, you could put in socialites if you're looking for that, and then hit enter. And it will show you videos where I've talked about those things. So then you could, maybe it was this year or something, or you just want to see the different ones. They'll all be listed for you. So there you go. Now you can search for stuff and hopefully find what you're looking for. All right. Now, this weekend is the first of the Virginia Quilt Museum talks. So if you were interested in signing up for that, be sure that you get yourself over there and get signed up. And then you want to definitely be doing the Schmetz Needle one, which is a little bit further into the month. And then there's 3 of them up there right now, so you can go take a look. But the link is down below. But do get in on these. They are fabulous, and I would love to hear your thoughts about being able to do this. I'm now assigned myself the Goodwill Ambassador for the Virginia Quilt Museum. Yeah, the board director wrote me. She goes, thank you so much for sharing for our videos. So that was really nice of her to write me. And the museum director I've been working with to send her some names of different people who I know do really excellent talks. So be sure you get in on all of that. Now I showed you that really cute fabric, that Springbrook fabric I think it was called, and there is a pattern out there that uses a layer cake of that is super cute that Corey designed, called Patchy Stars. One of our friends in the Quilt Along with Pat Sloan is working on that, and so there's a link below to the pattern and the fabric if you want to do a really cute blue and yellow quilt, and it looks, you know, like the picture here. I forgot to tell you on the charity, the serendipity. What is serendipity anyways? Did you look it up? The occurrence and development of events by chance in a happy, beneficial way. A fortunate stroke of serendipity. So that is our charity quilt along's title. And there is a super cute bag. And whoops, where's it? It's got the butterfly pole, and it's got the magnet, plus there's the cross stitch portion. I forgot to mention that when we first started. So the cross stitch portion is basically like the quilt, but I am only doing one block. So I have to do it now. So I have to do the flying geese one underneath. So I'm taking this just like taking a column, just taking like a column. That's how I'm going to handle it, but they'll be centered. So one of them I think is offset, but just imagine it centered, and I will do this long strip cross stitch. So I have to now do the Happy Charm one of the flying geese to get that out, because I've not been doing the cross stitch much. I need to put it in my routine a little bit better. Always something to do better, right? So today I will finish this guy up, and I will I'll finish him. I'll finish the binding on him, and then I will take these blocks and sew them into my row, and sew the row to the row above. So I will have that all. I'll keep that going. Yes, yes. So thank you for being here, my friend. The links are down below. I love you. Mwah. See you online.